Oh, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? A lot going on, man. A lot of updates, man. A lot of updates, man. A lot of updates, guys. A lot of updates. A lot of stories we've been following, and a lot of information on them, man. A lot of new information. Everyone smash that like button. Everyone smash that like button. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. How do you do that, Fred? I don't know how you do that, Fred. I literally have no idea how you do that. I literally have no idea how you do that. Shout out to Romega. Romega in the building, man. We got a lot of stories, man, that literally we've been covering, man. And they starting to turn out the way we thought they would. They starting to turn out the way we thought they would. Mm. Uh, Salute to everybody out there. We got a great show, man. I'm talking about a great show. I want everybody to hit the like button for me, though. I want everybody to hit the like button for me, though. I want everybody to hit that like button for me, though. For me, though. I want everybody to hit that like button for me, though. I'm gonna drop the link shortly. I'm gonna drop the link shortly. I'm gonna drop the link shortly. Uh, yeah. Shout out to Omega, man. Everybody hit that like button for me. Smash it for me. Man, shout out to everybody out there. Let's get it cracking, man.
Breaking news.
Good evening. We are staying on top of the breaking news from Catawba County tonight. Law enforcement tells us a person is in custody connected to that mass shooting early Sunday morning where one person was killed and 11 others were hurt. We're told 20-year-old Garen Killian is charged with one count of attempted first-degree murder, is being held under no...
Wow. Didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming. Garen Killian. Damn, white boy, you in a shit ton of trouble, boy. Woo. You in a world of trouble, Jack.
Shooting early Sunday morning where one person was killed and 11 others were hurt. We're told 20-year-old Garen Killian is charged with one count of attempted first-degree murder, is being held under no bond tonight. What you're seeing here is actually an old mugshot of his back when he was arrested in Hickory on April 6th, when officers say shots were fired into a crowd that had gathered in a parking lot near the Target off Catawba Valley Boulevard. As for the mass shooting, officers have told us they are looking for multiple shooters. We're told people attending the party were all...
Hold on. Did he shoot? Wait a second. They talking about they looking for him for some shooting at a parking lot at Target.
One person was killed and 11 others were hurt. We're told 20-year-old Garen Killian is charged with one count of attempted first-degree murder, is being held under no bond tonight. What you're seeing here is actually an old mugshot of his back when he was arrested in Hickory on April 6th.
Okay. This is an old mugshot. Okay. So white boy active. White boy active out here in these streets. White boy active.
Bond tonight. What you're seeing here is actually an old mugshot of his back when he was arrested in Hickory on April 6th, when officers say shots were fired into a crowd that had gathered in a parking lot near the Target off Catawba Valley Boulevard. As for the mass shooting, officers have told us they are looking for multiple shooters. We're told people attending the party were also armed and they fired shots as well. We know, again, 12 people were hurt in all of this, including 58-year-old Sean Hood, who was killed. 11 others hospitalized, one of those victims critically injured. Officers expect more arrests to come.
What I can tell you is that it appears to us that the shooting initiated from that elevated position in the neighbor's yard, and that persons that were attending the pool party were also armed, and there were shots fired by those people as well. Whether it was a direct return of fire, I can't confirm as I stand here, but both sides of that situation were shooting.
So why the shooting started, that is still a question unanswered tonight. Now, we did learn a little more about the party itself and what happened when deputies were called out to it earlier in the evening.
Best information we have now is that it was an advertised party on social media. We do understand that money was being charged for admission, and the theme seemed to be centered around the pool that's on that property.
You go back to the conference on Sunday, you were talking about deputies responding to a previous noise violation. When they responded to that, was there consideration of shutting down the party at that point, or what was that? How did that interaction end?
It was a noise complaint that we responded to. We interacted with the controlling parties at the residence at that time. They did turn the noise down. Our deputies did warn them about the size of the party and our perceptions that it was unsafe. That party, though, was on private property, and legally we did not have the authority at that time to shut it down, as you would use those words.
Now, you may be thinking, with so many people, so many witnesses, why has information been slow in coming out? Why did it take about 72 hours to announce any arrests? We reached out to retired CMPD Deputy Chief Stephen Brochu for some insight into this. Here's some of what he told our Jason Puckett earlier today.
This is a little bit more remote area, which creates some challenges. When you have urban environments, you have things like license plate readers and more cameras and access to infrastructure cameras and things that would drive some at least video evidence. When you're out in more remote locations, sometimes that's not as readily available. So this methodical approach is typical. It's very good. And again, you have extremely competent agencies that are investigating this. I have no doubt they'll soon identify the suspects who did this. Apprehension is the second piece. And there's some methods and means that go behind the apprehension. So sometimes it's strategic and not announcing what's all known by law enforcement yet, up and until they have some reason to announce that. But I feel confident that they've got a process in place. They do fugitive apprehensions quite often. Those agencies work across state lines if necessary. But I don't think there's any place that the suspect will be able to hide without being apprehended.
Meantime, investigators are asking people who live in the area or have businesses in that area to check any security or doorbell video they may have. They can upload those to the FBI's website. But again, the breaking news here tonight, one person in custody now in connection to the shooting, 20-year-old Garen Killian of Lenore. We are told more arrests are forthcoming. So stay with WBTV for the latest, not only on air, but on the WBTV News app. You can scan the QR code to follow along with any new developments in this investigation as we learn them.
Oh, right.
Breaking news.
Good evening.
Wow. Wow.
A new lawsuit targets a North St. Louis gas station, demanding it be shut down. The suit comes exactly 1 year after a man was shot and killed there during a disagreement. 5 News 5's Holden Kerwicki has been following this story for the last year. Holden.
Mike, back in March, Travell Warren was sentenced to 7 years in prison for his role in the death of John Christmas. However, members of the Christmas family say the owners of the gas station didn't do enough to protect his safety, which is required under Missouri law.
1 year after 51-year-old John Christmas was killed inside a North City gas station after being shot in the leg with his own gun.
It's a difficult day. It's not a day that you want.
Shot in the leg with his own gun? Maybe that's why the guy got 7 years.
Want to remember. It's not the day that I want to remember.
Gerald Christmas, a former St. Louis City prosecutor, took to the streets outside of the Crown Food Mart where his brother was killed with a simple message.
When we talk about crime in this city and we want to live safer, these are the kind of entities that we have got to shut down.
The Christmas family.
So they're going to shut down the gas station because dude got shot there with his own gun.
Family recently filed a wrongful death suit against the owners of the gas station at the intersection of Kings Highway and MLK, claiming they haven't taken proper steps to protect customers from crime at what attorney Jermaine Wooten says is a nuisance property.
Since it's been open, certainly in the last 5 years, there's been a host of all sorts of violence.
Yeah, you see all these niggas, it ain't the gas station, it's these damn niggas out front. Press 1. It's these niggas right here, sir. Why you blaming the gas station? It's these niggas right here. Them. Standing in front of the fucking doorway. When you come in there, you gotta walk through them and shit. You gotta tell these motherfuckers, excuse me, to get in the fucking gas station. You gotta squeeze through these niggas to get in the gas station. I mean, I don't know if you can ask them to leave. I mean, if you the Indians who own the joint, I'm sure they don't want them there, but what can they do? This is like the only place where it's like traffic. A lot of places there's nothing going on. And the gas station is the only place where people can go to get traffic. Like if you're hustling, foot traffic, or if you just want to be on the scene. Might not be no business district over there, or no business like street with a bunch of stores on it. Everybody hang out at the gas station. Yeah, they're selling drugs. It's foot traffic.
The last 5 years has been a host of all sorts of violent crimes. They had from 2018 all the way up until his death, they've had all sorts of criminal activity at this gas station.
Despite the presence of security cameras both in and out of the store,
Jesus. And they want to fucking
security cameras both in.
They want to punish this owner. This guy's got like 18 cameras, man. Why are you trying to punish him? Why are you trying to punish the people that own this gas station? Because niggas come up there and interact with other niggas, and it leads to violence because niggas are violent. He's doing his job. He's doing his job.
Gas station.
Despite the presence of security cameras both in and out of the store, SLMPD says they've responded to 250 calls for service at the station in the last year.
If we had gotten
250 calls for service in the last year. A lot of fucking shit up there, man. Wow.
maybe 50 calls that any normal resident in this area, St. Louis City, actually would have probably vacated their residence.
They should have been shut down a long time ago. They should have never been able to operate for this long.
That's why the Christmas family says, in addition to seeking more than $1 million in damages, they want city leaders to close the store for good.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm past talking. It's time for action. I want them shut down.
I reached out to the ownership group for that gas station, but they declined comment on this story, saying that they have yet to see a copy of that lawsuit. Ann?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely, positively crazy.
A manhunt is underway for a father suspected of killing his 3 young daughters in Washington state.
Waukesha County reporter Brett Lemoyne live tonight with the local connection to that state that's leaving so many people in tears around here. Brett?
Yeah, very much so, Ted and Mary. Authorities in Washington state confirmed the girls, ages 5, 8, and 9, were found dead on Monday. Their father, a Pewaukee native, is suspected in their murder, and at this hour, they still don't know where he is.
Years before he was the subject of a police investigation, Travis Decker called Pewaukee home. In his sophomore year, Decker was on the wrestling team. He's remembered here for pinning an opponent at a state tournament. But it's what happened miles away in Wenatchee, Washington that has authorities searching the country for him. Investigators say the 32-year-old kidnapped his daughters during a planned visitation on Friday. Police say Decker was homeless, living out of his white 2017 GMC Sierra pickup truck. When the girls didn't return, Homeland Security joined detectives in the search. They found the bodies of the 3 children and Decker's truck near a campground, but not Decker.
Damn. Isn't it crazy that the same amount of resources for like 3 dead white girls? Like if somebody called the black person, if a black person found a goddamn swastika painted on their fucking door, it would be the exact same response. That might be more, man. Might be more fucking response from the government if a black person found a swastika drawn on their desk or something at work, or found a rope somewhere or found a rope at their, anywhere. If a black person found a rope anywhere, it would be the same response from the government as it was for these 3 dead white girls.
Didn't return, Homeland Security joined detectives in the search. They found the bodies of the 3 children and Decker's truck near a campground, but not Decker.
Hi, is this TJ?
Fox 6 spoke with Decker's brother, TJ Decker, by telephone. He told us he had a falling out with Decker years ago, and the two haven't spoken since. TJ Decker stressed, quote, "The girls are what matter most." He said they were, quote, "taken too soon." He confirmed Decker graduated from Pewaukee High School in 2010. Investigators say Decker is a former military member with extensive training. It's not known if he's armed. Washington authorities did not issue an Amber Alert for the girls, saying the case didn't initially meet imminent danger criteria. Instead, an endangered missing person alert was given. Decker is wanted for 3 counts of first-degree murder and kidnapping.
Wow.
I also spoke with Decker's former neighbor off camera. She tells me she is shocked about what happened in Washington state. She says
this is a bad dude, man. Golly, man. Killed 3 little girls, man. Forget that they his daughters. This guy killed 3 little. He used all that military training. Big bad military man. Big bad hoorah, whatever the fuck he is. He used all that to kill 3 little girls. I don't think that was part of the plan, man, when they was like, I mean, you talk about falling short, man, of glory, man. I don't think this guy's gonna turn himself in. I think this guy's gonna kill himself or go out in a blaze of glory. No way this guy lets the cops put handcuffs on him and take him to jail. This guy's either dead already somewhere. That's probably why they can't find him. He's dead somewhere. Probably went out in the woods and killed himself. Or he's gonna, shoot it out with the cops. Big, tough military guy. Killed 3 little girls, man. Wow.
Well, now to a tragic story happening across the country, but with close ties to our hometown. A 32-year-old father is wanted for murder after his 3 daughters were found dead today in Washington state.
Yeah, tough one. Today we're learning the man does have ties to Wisconsin. Police are looking for Travis Decker. You see pictures of him here. His 3 daughters, 9-year-old Peyton, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia, were reported missing by their mom on Friday. They were found dead today. Authorities in Washington are searching for
the mom. Look at the mom. The mom is, her world is crushed. She's crushed. The mom is crushed right now. The mom, she probably can't even think straight. Wow. The mom is crushed right now. He did that to hurt her. That's one thing about women, man. Man. Women bully men and they treat men like shit. And they put men through the fucking ringer. And then you got a guy like this who's just a weak, piece of shit, and he kills his fucking daughters. It's over the shit, man. To get back at the woman, to make her feel the pain. So he didn't even see his daughters as humans. He saw his daughters as pawns in the dynamic between him and his wife. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. We got one One supporter tonight, man. One supporter tonight, man. Jeez. He didn't see his kids as human. He saw them as pawns in the dynamic between him and his wife. So he wanted to hurt the wife. So he said, okay, I'll just kill the kids. She loves them. She loves them dearly. I'll kill them, and that'll hurt her. But what about the kids' life? He didn't think about his kids as separate entities, as lives, like they were lives on their own. They didn't want to just be a pawn in the back and forth between you two. So he was a real piece of shit. He didn't even see his kids as human. He saw his kids as chess pieces. And maybe he saw it like that because the woman made it like that. A lot of times women will make it like that. Like they'll say, you can't see your kids. They'll take the kids away from you. They'll threaten to take the kids away from you for years before they actually do it. They'll restrict your contact with the kids, which is very frustrating. When you want to see your kids and some woman tells you can't see your kids, that's very frustrating, enraging. So she might have created that dynamic where she might have initially created the using the kids as pawns by maybe using the kids to get at him, restricting his access to the kids to hurt him. So then he killed them to hurt her, which restricts her access all the way, because he probably felt like he couldn't win in the court system. There was no way he could use the courts to restrict her access, so he just killed them to restrict her access. That's why, as a man, we gotta have restraint, man. Man gotta be strong, man. Strong, long suffering. Yeah, I'm not trying to make any excuses for this guy, but I do know that they did say it was custody. Like it was a custody that situation. And those things always get ugly. Jeez, this is so sad, man.
Authorities in Washington are searching for Decker and say they consider him dangerous and he could be anywhere. They ask anyone with information to call police.
AJ Bayatpour is joining us live now in studio with more on the story tonight.
And AJ, you've been digging into this case all day today. What can you tell us tonight?
Well, Jessup, Natalie, we spoke to Travis Decker's father, Troy, earlier today over the phone. He told us he was getting on a flight to Washington this afternoon. He confirmed Travis grew up in Pewaukee. In a press conference less than an hour ago, the sheriff in Chelan County, Washington, confirmed authorities have not located Travis Decker. His young daughter.
Think about the father, the grandfather. He lost all three of his grandkids. Well, I don't know how many other kids he has, but he lost three of his grandkids. And now he's about to lose his son because I'm sure his son's going to kill himself or force the cops to kill him. Wow.
Ages 9, 8, and 5 were found dead last night. Decker's truck nearby. Tonight, Sheriff Mike Morrison says he has been in touch with some of Decker's relatives. He adds investigators are operating as though Travis Decker is still alive.
We will not rest until Travis is located. Travis, if you're listening, this is your opportunity to turn yourself in. Do the right thing, do what you need to do, and take accountability for your actions. We're not going to go away, we're not going to rest, and we're going to make sure we find you.
Earlier this afternoon, we were able to pull through the Pewaukee High School yearbooks and look through the ones specifically from 2008 and 2009. Those show Travis was on the football and wrestling teams during his sophomore and junior years. In fact, the wrestling pages highlighted Travis's accomplishments in the team and individual state tournaments. Travis's father told us earlier today his son served in Afghanistan and struggled with mental health in recent years. Travis's ex-wife, Whitney, spoke to our sister station in Seattle before the horrific discovery. Her 3 young girls were dead. She also described Travis becoming less stable over time, but even then, she did not think this outcome was a possibility.
No, Travis has really struggled since he left the military, and his mental health can be hard sometimes. And I think this is an effect of that. And I don't personally think that he's dangerous. I think that he is impulsive and he loves his children very much.
We found a house.
Boy, was she wrong. Boy, was she wrong. Jeez, that's the mom of the kids. Man, was she wrong. Salute the guys from below. They say, here's something for your next trip to get snacks. Salute, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Yikes. Wow. Wow. Boy, was she wrong. This was before she knew what happened. This is when the girls were only missing.
I think this outcome was a possibility.
No, Travis has really struggled since he left the military, and his mental health can be hard sometimes. And I think this is an effect of that. And I don't personally think that he's dangerous. I think that he is impulsive and he loves his children very much.
We found a house in Pewaukee that records indicate once belonged to the Decker family. We knocked on the neighbor's door, but no one responded. Court records in Washington state related to Travis Decker's divorce indicate Whitney was not worried about Travis being any kind of threat at first. However, last September, she did request that Travis be evaluated for anger management. But because Travis was homeless and living either at an armory or out of his truck, she had also pushed to have his visitation hours limited, and that was granted. Even after he did not return with the girls Friday night, police in Wenatchee did not think they were in danger. They did not issue an Amber Alert because, as they outlined in the press conference, those are reserved for cases for when children are believed to be facing an immediate threat of bodily harm or death. And state authorities in Washington, until yesterday, did not think that was the case.
So many sad details coming out about this case today, and you were able to also get some information about some further details from Washington.
Yeah, late this afternoon, our sister station in Seattle was able to pull some court records, and there is some disturbing information that came out of that. Based on those records, investigators believe that the 3 girls all died from asphyxiation. Those records also state that investigators used cell phone records to track Travis Decker's movements in previous days, and Thursday, the day before he picked them up for that final visitation, he was in the area where their bodies were found. So that leads investigators to believe this may have been premeditated.
Wow. Nothing but heartbreaking details coming out of this one tonight, AJ.
Wow.
Thank you.
And we will continue.
So he choked him to death. He choked his daughters to death. God damn. Man, what a demon. Wow.
Now to the weekend shooting in Baldwin Park that took the life of police officer Samuel Riveros and a second man who has now been identified as Darius Wong. Murder charges have now been filed against the suspected gunman. NBC4's Camilla Rambaldi joins us live from Baldwin Park City Hall, where a vigil for Officer Riveros will be held there tonight. Camilla?
Hi, Colleen. That's right. The vigil is set to begin at 6 o'clock here. We're here just outside the Baldwin Park Police Station, where a memorial here has been growing for fallen officer Samuel Riveros. Many over these last few days, including fellow officers and community members, have been coming here to pay their respects. And we just mentioned a community prayer and candle vigil is set to take place here in about an hour to honor and remember the beloved officer. Earlier today, we also spoke with the brother of Darius Wong, the second man that was shot and killed over the weekend. A hardworking man who was dedicated to his family and his two young daughters.
He's a good person, he's a good father. He has 2 kids and a wife.
These are a few of the words Victor Vong used to describe his older brother, Darius Wong, who lived in Hacienda Heights and worked at the Children's Hospital of Orange County in medical billing. He was also a Lakers fan and loved Kobe Bryant.
Every single day he clock in and clock out. Every single day. He's a dedicated worker.
According to the LASD, the 43-year-old was shot and killed last Saturday on Philhurst Avenue, allegedly by the same shooter accused of killing Baldwin Park police officer Samuel Riveros, who responded to the area. Wong was walking to a housewarming party there. Vong says his brother had first dropped off his daughter's wife and sister-in-law at the house and then went to go find parking.
He parked his Acura, the SUV, on another block of the street. He parked there, and then once he's parked, his car is parked, he walked back like a normal day.
Videos shared with NBC4 captured some of the gunfire that went off.
He got shot in the back without knowing what happened.
Vong says before his brother and his family arrived to the area, there was a dispute over a parking space between other party guests and the suspected shooter.
It's very sad how this devil killed him.
It was then the LASD says officers were called to the area for reports of a man with a rifle. When they got there, the LASD says the officers were immediately met with gunfire by the shooting suspect and found Wong shot on the ground. 2 officers were struck. 35-year-old Samuel Riveros died at the hospital from his injuries. The second officer, Anthony Pimentel, survived. The gunman has been identified as 22-year-old Eduardo Medina Berumen and is facing charges of murder in connection to the deadly shooting. 2 lives cut short.
My family is grieving and everyone is hurt.
A tragedy that has rocked the Baldwin Park community.
We're a Buddhist. We need a proper praying for his whole afterlife. He's a very good man.
The family of Darius Wong has set up an online donation page. Back out here live again, the vigil for Officer Samuel Riveros is set to begin at 6 at the Civic Center Plaza. A procession is also scheduled for this evening that will travel from the city of Los Angeles to the Forest Lawn Funeral Home. In Baldwin Park, Camilla Rambaldi, NBC.
Wow. Wow.
He is Atlanta born and raised, and his social media accounts have more than 100,000 followers.
Hood anchor Ye has made a big splash online by reporting the news with his own Atlanta flair. Fox 5's Alexa Liaco has his story. And Alexa, he quit his job earlier this year to focus on social media news reporting, right?
It has been a whirlwind 6 months for him, but he says this all started kind of accidentally when a video he made about a news story in January of this year went viral. But it's led to incredible opportunities, and the point of it all, to inform his neighbors with a sense of good humor.
What's going on, y'all? This is Hood Anchor Ye. What's going on, y'all? This is Hood Certified Meteorologist Ye. What's going on, y'all? This is Hood Anchor Ye. Put on live right here from Joseph V.
If there's something going on in Atlanta,
My team here, APD here.
you can be sure Hood Anchor Ye is on the scene.
People, they DM me, they text me. So as soon as they hit me, I'm driving straight there. You know, I'm from the city, so as soon as I know where it's at, I'm going to bad roads. I ain't running no red lights.
He gives people the news in a way, well, in a way we can't.
And we don't got time for Nobody else dying. It's already a Sunday. I got the robe, I got the pajamas, I got do-rag, I got all that. And I just recently added the tie just to be a little professional.
And his videos have gone viral with millions of views. Once he arrives on scene, he works as sources to get the latest from police and witnesses, often catching breaking news as it happens.
I really just say it was on the first thing that come to my mind. And if it's a curse word, it's a curse word.
He's born and raised in Atlanta and started posting about the news for fun 6 months ago. But it's become a full-time job, and it's given people in dark situations a moment of levity. The man who was shot at this scene here reached out to say thank you.
He said he in the hospital, he in Grady. He said, man, I watched your story about me, and this is the only thing that made me laugh since I've been in the hospital was watching your story. And I'm just be like, dang, man.
And on top of giving you the latest from the scene while making you laugh, Ye says he hopes it makes us all feel a little more connected to experience the news unfiltered.
I'm just thank God for to be in position to even, be legit and just, do something that I love doing, like this journalism. Like, I love doing this.
And he says one of the highlights that all of this work has brought him was meeting Atlanta's mayor, who said he appreciated the work Hood Anchor Ye was doing. So a lot of fun and, actually bringing us the facts, too. And he's talking to people on the scene. So he's out there doing real journalism.
He is, Alexa. I mean, it's really interesting to see where he started out, something that you said it was kind of accidental, but he's really grown a following, and it sounds like people are really taking some important information away from him, with the humor, too, because he's pretty funny.
And all kidding aside, I mean, that really is where the business is going, is streaming. So he's kind of ahead of his time.
Yeah, he absolutely is. We got to partner up with him with Fox 5 and do a little.
Wow. Damn, bro. That was big, man. They put you on, man. The white man ain't holding you down. The white man holding you up. Press one. White man holding him up. That's what's up, man. Salute to this guy, man. He got on the fucking news, man. Oh.
Afternoon, I'm Lauren McCoy.
And I'm Meg Gatto. A social media video showing what appears to be one of the Orleans jail escapees prompts a search of a home in New Orleans.
Todd Trung joins us with details on the search, which is now in its third week.
Well, Lauren, that social media video spread quickly after it was posted on Sunday, and a source tells Fox 8 that state police searched a home on Agriculture Street in the 7th Ward because of it. The source says officers got tips from relatives who recognized the backdrop in the social media video.
I told you. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? This was sloppy, man. This was just nigger shit, man. This was very niggerish for him to do some stupid shit like this. And the way he did it. Not what he said, but the way he did it.
Officers got tips from relatives who recognized the backdrop in the social media video. According to the Associated Press, when investigators searched the home, they did not find Antoine Massey, but did find clothing they believed he was wearing in the video. Massey and convicted killer Derek Groves are the two remaining escapees who broke out of the Orleans Parish Jail on May 16th. 8 other inmates have been recaptured. Today, Governor Jeff Landry repeated the message authorities have been sending to the fugitives.
Turn yourself in.
What I would urge is that those two quit the hide and seek game that we're playing, turn yourself in, and you'll be able to have your day in court.
Typically what happens is as time goes on, those resources dwindle and dwindle, and they're either forced to do something drastic, like further criminal action, a carjacking to get transportation, rob a store to get money.
And that was security consultant and former Secret Service agent Donald Lane. He says the social media video of Massey is bold, but also desperate. Lane believes it shows Massey running out of options and trying to win over public opinion. The reward in this manhunt for Antoine Massey and Derek Groves is now up to $50,000 per fugitive. Reporting live, Ton Trunk, Fox 8, Local First.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew that. I knew that was going to happen.
He is Atlanta born.
I knew that was going. I knew as soon as I seen that video, I said, "Oh yeah, they're going to use this." And they probably missed him by like a couple minutes, man. Because when they got there, he wasn't there, but his clothes was there. Clothes was there. The clothes he had on in the video was there.
Police say an argument took a violent turn in Center City, and now a 31-year-old man is dead. Investigators are still working to determine who fatally shot him and why. As our Kelly Rule reports, he was well known in the city's ballroom community.
Derwin should still be here today. Derwin should still be here today.
Jason Bowman says he's replaying his final moments from this morning with 31-year-old Derwin Matthews Jr., who police say was shot and killed in Center City just after 2:30 a.m. After seeing him throughout Pride celebration Sunday, Bowman says he gave Matthews a hug outside of Voyer.
Homie was sweet. Damn. I'd have never figured he was sweet like that, man. He don't look like, I don't know, he just didn't look like he was sweet. That's crazy. I had no idea this guy was, damn. C'est la vie, man. You never can tell.
Just after 2:30 a.m. After seeing him throughout Pride celebration Sunday, Bowman says he gave Matthews a hug outside of Voyer nightclub about a half hour before the shooting.
Derwin was a chef. He was a protector. He was such a vibrant person, full of energy, will give you the skin off his back. Pride yesterday was beautiful. It was
and the skin off his dick. Press 1.
Vibrant person, full of energy, will give you the skin off his back. Pride yesterday was beautiful. It was a great time in the city of Philadelphia. Pride 365 worked extremely hard to make sure that everybody in the neighborhood was safe. But, unfortunately, we can't control what happens, after the festivities start to wind down.
Police say surveillance video shows a group of people walking down Kamak Street near Locust Street when Matthews and another individual get into an argument, and it turns physical. Police say at some point Matthews backs up, and that's when they believe he was shot once in the stomach. He was taken to the hospital, where he died a few hours later, investigators say.
As I'm walking around, I'm like, this is an abnormal amount of police presence out here for just cleaning the roads. It was a little unsettling.
This has become too common of occurrence. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I hope it'll stop. I wish I had some solutions to how to stop it.
A member of the ballroom community, Bowman says Matthews was his chosen son when he was in the House of Prodigy, and both performed on Fox 29 Good Day back in May 2021. Matthews seen here.
Derwin had an infectious personality that everybody loved Derwin. So not only am I hurting, our community is hurting. If you guys seen something, know something, heard something, say something. Now is not the time to be afraid to go talk to the police. We have to make sure that justice is served for Derwin. He deserves that.
Again, police say they have surveillance video. They have not released it yet. If you have any information on this homicide, they're asking that you call 215-686-TIPS. Reporting in Old City, I'm Kelly Rule, Fox 29 News.
Wow.
All right, so. Police say an argument took a violent.
He is.
Chaos breaks out at Six Flags on Memorial Day. We're going to get to the main event soon, man. Shout out to Jimmy Fields, man. What's happening, man?
How you doing, Ak? That last story, that white girl standing there with 3 gay brothers. I mean, come on, she wins. She got black friends that are gay. That's like a twofer.
Right, and she's probably not gonna get raped, right?
Probably not, unless they have family members that tag along.
Yeah, man.
But she's got to feel really good about herself. She's a good liberal out there on Pride Day with black guys, sun men, showing her guilt-free colors.
I'm telling you. Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Oh man.
Yeah, well, Fred, it's been a day since the loss of Derwin Matthews. You could still see crime tape here at the scene of the crime where his life was taken. Police say that an argument led to that shooting. What that argument was about, still unclear, but his family, they just want whoever is responsible to be behind bars.
Derwin was a dreamer. He's a visionary. I mean, like, all he wanted to do was exist in his own little world and help people.
Derwin Matthews Sr. says his son will be remembered for his joy and his magnetic personality. His son had big dreams as a chef and an online personality seen in this video shared by his father. It was a tragic phone call Matthews Sr. never thought he'd get.
I just was numb. I just was shocked. I couldn't even get a word out to even say, like, oh my God, or anything. I just was shocked.
Matthew says his son was out enjoying Pride celebrations when he was shot and killed in an alleyway on Kamak Street. Officials say the 31-year-old was shot in the stomach after an argument with another person. Derwin Matthews Jr. was pronounced dead a short time later. He leaves behind 3 sisters. His friend Jason Bowman says Derwin has left a lasting impact in his community.
Very heartbreaking. Our community is definitely in shock. Derwin was someone who was a protector. He was someone who loved on everybody, wanted to make sure that everybody was okay.
Derwin's family left with so many questions.
What does justice look like for your family?
Justice for my family is like the apprehension of the suspect, of course. And an adequate punishment for what he's done. And give us and give awareness to these type of crimes that's being committed.
Now, the family have not yet started funeral arrangements for Matthews. Police are still looking for that suspect. Here in the neighborhood, Yukari Nakayama, NBC 10 News.
The neighborhood.
The neighborhood. Boys Town.
A week ago, 2 people died in a shooting at Fairmount Park on Memorial Day. Many others were hurt.
Tonight, the people who lost their lives were remembered in an emotional vigil where that shooting happened. Family, friends, and city leaders all reflected on the violence that unfolded that day and the violence that happens around the city. NBC 10's Shaira Arias is live in Fairmount Park with today's message. Shaira.
Jacqueline, at that vigil, we saw plenty of families as well as children present and nonprofit organizations. We did speak to the grandfather of one of those fatal victims at that mass shooting. He says that more needs to be done in the city to prevent all this violence.
Let me guess, people need to put the guns down?
It was a moving vigil held in the same park where a mass shooting left 2 dead and 9 injured on Memorial Day. Gunfire erupted that evening in Lemon Hill at Fairmount Park, where families gathered to celebrate the holiday. Police say multiple shooters opened fire into the crowd, but today the same place looked very different.
Lives were lost right here.
Hundreds came together to mourn, remember, and stand in solidarity with the victims and their families.
I'm just holding on, just trying to make it the best I can.
Will is the grandfather of 23-year-old Amaya Devlin, one of the people killed in the shooting. He remembers his granddaughter with deep love and sorrow.
She was a very funny young lady, and she was very nice and very smart.
keeping our young people and their families.
During the vigil, we heard from Mayor Sherelle Parker and faith leaders.
And I pray right now in the name of Jesus that
who led prayers for healing and unity. Earlier in the day, the mayor and city leaders kicked off gun violence awareness, but just hours before, the message of hope, gunfire once again shattered the peace. 3 people were shot overnight in Torresdale. According to the Philadelphia police, so far this year, 93 people have been killed, which is a 16% decrease in homicides in comparison to the same time last year.
The death of good.
No, I was saying go Philly. 16%.
Yeah. I mean, and then it was down last year from the previous year. I mean, it's down drastically from the previous. They had 600.
I wonder if the population is down too, though. The Sun population, like year to year, is it getting squeezed out, which would create less homicides?
Well, I mean, actually, not really, because it doesn't matter if like, for instance, the people that would leave would be people trying to get away from the crime. The criminals,
or the people that are dead. They're gonna run out of guns.
I don't think the population. You need the right people to leave, right? You need the low income people to leave. You need the shooters to leave, the killers to leave. It doesn't matter if the people with means to get out of there leave.
What are they doing that? What are they doing that we think we attribute this 2-year decline to?
Me personally, I think like there was so much killing, and like they set all their records in the first 3 years, 2020, 2021, and 2022, right? They set all the records that like by the time 2023 comes around, it's like, yo, everybody's like everybody's dead. All the killers are probably in prison or dead. All the real killers. Now you still got some killers that's going to come up, but like I guess that's what I could say, man. Like a lot of people got killed or locked up, and it still did. Like you gotta understand, whatever number they have, like so they got 93, so they're probably going to end up with 300, right? By the end of the year, right? Or something like that, because it's going to heat up in the summer. It's going to heat up in the summer. Yeah. Let's just say they end up with about 300, right? By the end of the year. They had 600 a couple years ago. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's a lot but here's the thing, 300 is still insane.
Of course.
It's an insane number.
But it doesn't compare to that championship season of 2020, 2021.
Right, but if it's just Suns put the numbers, we put the records so far out there that like it's like you don't even, you know what I mean, like it's so far out there. Yeah, anything that normal, semi-normal, like for instance, like 300 fucking homicides. If there was a white city, how many white cities would it take to have 300 homicides?
Oh my God.
White towns, like all
20?
All white towns.
You know? To have 30 homicides, it would take 10 towns if you broke it out that way, you know?
Yeah, so it's like, it's still ridiculous to have 300, but I get them bragging. This is something that was, you know, supposed to be nice, I guess. This was a function that, you know, people, families came to. Oh yeah, I did see a Instagram story about this guy was talking about this. Let me show y'all. He was talking about this guy on Instagram. Let me see if I can find him. There he is. Alrighty. Make sure y'all support the channel, guys. Support the channel. Coming through here. breaking these stories down.
Park. So y'all goofies is in Fairmount Park on a national holiday. Assault rifles, handguns with switches, open fire, civilians, citizens, women, grandmothers, children, toddlers, babies out here. Y'all hit 9 people. What part of a life sentence? Matter of fact, forget about the time, because clearly it's something about prison that y'all racing to. Y'all is craving and want to be in prison. Y'all have got to be the most inhumane, ungodly, selfish. Y'all are the worst type of motherfuckers I've ever came across in my life. Y'all are opening fire with assault rifles and switches with babies and infants and women in the park. Listen. The mayor of Philadelphia, y'all need to bring the National Guard in Philadelphia. Y'all need to increase the penalty for guns.
Oh, man. Salute to him, man. Salute.
He's got a plan.
Yeah, man. Salute to him, man. Salute to him, man.
Your feed's a little different than mine. Different kinds of ladies.
Well, you know, I do a lot of work on body shaming. You know what I'm saying? I have an anti-body shaming platform, and
do you?
Know, yeah, definitely, man. I think you should be proud of your body, and I want people to be proud.
Memphis, Tennessee police are investigating a pre-dawn incident at the home of soul singer Al Green that ended with the apparent suicide of a 29-year-old house guest. Green told police the incident began this morning when Mary Woodson burst into his bathroom and tossed a pan of hot grits on him while he was bathing. Green said Miss Woodson then ran to an adjoining room where he heard several shots fired. Officers said a suicide note was found in Miss Woodson's purse. Green, in the hospital tonight with second-degree burns, is in good condition. The Democratic National Memphis, Tennessee police are investigating.
This story don't quite add up, do it? Something ain't right about this story, right?
What's
investigating a pre-dawn incident at the home of soul singer Al Green that ended with the apparent suicide of a 29-year-old house guest. Green told police the incident began this morning when Mary Woodson burst into his bathroom and tossed a pan of hot grits on him while he was bathing. Green said Miss Woodson then ran to an adjoining room where he heard several shots fired. Officers said a suicide note was found in Miss Woodson's purse. Green.
Well, he's lucky, you know, that she wrote the note so that nobody thinks he did anything, you know, untoward. She was nice.
Several shots fired.
She's a terrible aim. You know, she's a girl. Probably first one went into the floor. Did they do paraffin tests on people back then? See if Al had fired the gun anytime recently?
I don't know.
In the hospital tonight with second-degree burns is in good condition. The Democratic National Memphis, Tennessee police are investigating a pre-dawn incident at the home of soul singer Al Green that ended with the apparent suicide of a 29-year-old house guest. Green told police the incident began this morning when Mary Woodson burst into his bathroom and tossed a pan of hot grits on him while he was bathing. Green said Miss Woodson then ran to an adjoining room where he heard several shots fired.
This
Officers
is
said
just a clear case of self-defense, you know. She threw grits on him. He had to defend himself. Was he not a reverend at this time? They didn't refer to him as reverend.
After this, this was the impetus for him to get into that. Yeah. He was a player at this time. There was another woman there at the house that night too. It says a woman named Mary Woodson, who was romantically involved with Green, poured scalding hot grits on him while he was bathing. He suffered second-degree burns on his back, arms, and stomach. Moments later, Woodson tragically took her own life with his revolver in the very same house.
Wow.
So it was his gun. How did she write a suicide note? How did she already have a suicide note ready in her purse?
Well, she wrote the note before she threw the grits on him. You know, this was all her plan.
Oh yeah, so she knew once she threw the grits on her, she was dead. This is. I feel like if this happened today, it would be a little bit like Al lucky he did this shit back in the 70s.
Yeah, there'd be a little deeper investigation, I think, now. Like, does her hand have, like, the gun powder on it, you know? 3 times is hilarious, too. I wonder how many times she got hit of those 3 bullets fired.
He said the city was stunned. The music world was shaking, and Al Green's life would never be the same. From that trauma came transformation. Green saw it as a divine sign, a wake-up call. He left the soul world behind and devoted himself fully to gospel music and ministry, later becoming Pastor Al Green, found in the Full Gospel Tabernacle Church in Memphis, Tennessee, where he still preaches to this day.
God, I want to thank you for letting me get away with murder, and now I will dedicate my life. I'm going to devote myself to your service. I can't believe they bought that suicide story, but Lord works in many ways.
She had the suicide note ready, and then she came over there and used his gun to do it. Like, that's crazy. I'm going to kill myself.
But before I've cooked something for you.
Yeah, right. She and you know, grits, man. Grits is like you got to be in the right state of mind to make grits, man, because you gotta, so you gotta boil the water. This is before microwaves and shit.
She was rebuking him.
You gotta boil the water. You gotta pour the right amount of grits in there because you don't want them to be, too thick or too watery. You gotta stir them. And then she came in that joint, boom! Like how was she in there and he didn't know she was in? You know what I'm saying? Like how is somebody
I'm gonna sneak into his house and then turn on the stove, go to the cabinets and find the grits while he's taking a bath. I've worked out the timing perfectly.
Look, it's sons. Like anything can happen because they're not really paying attention at any point in their lives.
Once they're
like,
bubbling just right, not the big blobby bubbles, but when the little ones are just coming through and it's kind of got a little. That's when I'm going to kill them. As soon as those grits are just right, I'm going to put a little butter on them.
I wonder she hooked them up. Like, put some goddamn cheese in them.
I know he takes his bath at 11:30. So if I go to the market and get some cheese to put on the grits, this is going to work out great.
Shout out to Cap One. Shout out to Sun Rays. It says, Mayor Sherman Clump says, put them guns down. 50 will drop during the Juneteenth week. Well, yeah, Juneteenth will be very violent, man. This is a crazy story, man. Al, you got a lot of explaining to do, man. Al, you might have fooled, the people then.
Is he dead now?
No, he's still alive. Al's still kicking. He says there was an entire chapter that covers this in detail, including the 3 suicide notes that were written the day before. She wrote 3 suicide notes.
Well, writing is really rewriting. That's the nature of all good writing. And if you're going to concoct a story where she suicides herself at his place after throwing grits on him, you want to get the note just right.
Yeah.
Punctuation.
This is crazy.
What's up, new guy?
I'm just chilling. Just it's crazy how many like historical black figures that we are like propagandized to look as like great people, and then like when you come to Auk Nation, we find out all this shit that like all these people were just awful to each other. They like lied to each other. They would hurt each other's family members. Like all these things that are just kind of like swept away that we don't know about.
You ever look at Sam Cooke's murder?
No.
Yeah.
That's another good one.
Black lady killed him. I think he was a pimp. He was pimping that Asian chick. He was with that Asian chick all night.
Like that fellow, what was his name? 6'8"? That new person?
Yeah.
Like he just spilled all this like new information about MLK Jr., right? I'd never heard any of that shit before. I'm like, oh, holy crap. Like I can't say I'm surprised to hear any of it, but it's just like you just like come to expect it now, really.
Was I asleep when you did that?
I think you were snoozing probably, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know. I've been known about MLK, you know, because they were following him. Hoover had all his stuff tapped, and he loved white prostitutes.
Yeah, all these guys just like seem to love white women and get involved with them. They can be counted on to do that.
Yeah, white women are the best, man. I mean, it happens to be that way, though. I have to admit, like, white women are easier to get along with. I don't know about necessarily attractiveness or looks. I don't think that's really what it's about. I think that it's about just being easier to get along with.
Well, it depends like on like the male side of the race too, because you're a son man. So you're like you'll take any, like, you guys don't care as much about like the racial like phenotype, whereas other races are much more pickier, in my opinion. Like it doesn't matter how easy like a son woman is to get along with. Like at the end of the day, most glider men will just not be interested in them based on like a purely physical standpoint, at least in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. Sons, we like white women, and white women love us too, though. Like it's not like white women like son men.
Only the bad ones.
No. I think all of them. I think a lot of them. I'm not gonna say all of them, but I think a lot more white women dig son men than you would think, man.
Well, a lot of them might be bad too.
It said, this one says, he was having an affair with her and others. She found out he was cheating on her and asked him if he was going to stop. He said no, and the grits commenced. That's why you don't play with people's feelings. After that, we got Reverend Al.
It's a good thing those suicide notes were written the day before, because if they were written that day, it would seem a little suspicious. You know, like suddenly she's writing a suicide note to kill herself. That she planned it is really what sells the story.
Yeah. Like she just knew she was gonna go over there, and that's why she threw the grits on it. It don't matter. Like I'm gonna kill myself anyway, so I might as well just nothing I do matters.
And she made sure no white racist was able to railroad him for killing her by making sure there was a note that explained everything.
It says here, yeah, exactly. This one says, I never believed this woman committed suicide. Vibe magazine did an investigative report on who was the woman and what was being claimed happened to her. After reading it, it raised very serious doubts. The credibility of the report on the woman's own suicide, more to the story in my view.
We have to believe this person actually read something, so you got to take this with a grain of salt. The one right below it said she was shot in the back 6 times. So the source is
in honor of Pride Month, let's
In a vast departure from tradition that will make history in Philadelphia, Police Commissioner Morton Solomon has gone on record saying his department will no longer ban homosexuals from the police department. Tonight, Sherry Bank found some strong reaction to that policy statement.
Many of the Philadelphia police officers we spoke with tonight are less than thrilled with the prospect of sharing their patrol car with a gay man or a lesbian. But few of them will talk about it on camera. They say they're afraid of losing their jobs. Tonight at the Philadelphia Police Roundhouse, most officers were reluctant to speak. Most, but not all of those who would, were rather non-committal.
It doesn't have any bearing on my job one way or the other. I mean, I could really care less.
Probably just about the same type of reluctance to work with homosexuals as there was in the beginning to work with the women.
I just don't think it would work. At least not at this time.
Do you think that most officers wouldn't want to be teamed up with a homosexual partner?
I'm almost sure of it.
What has been...
Am I misgendering this guy thing?
Well, this guy?
Is this one of the lesbians they hired? She looks like she's in shape.
That's a guy, man.
The reaction, what do most people say?
Stinks.
We also went to the Fraternal Order of Police headquarters tonight and to their club. The officers there, too, refused to speak on camera. But their boss has spoken. Police Commissioner Morton Solomon says he's not interested in who sleeps with whom. The commissioner tells me tonight, quote, I have no problem with anyone's off-duty sexual preference, as long as they're capable people who obey regulation.
In a vast departure from tradition.
All right, man.
I think everything worked out.
Yeah, man.
Make them, chiefs, police chiefs, and fire captains.
In honor. Okay.
Do you think black people should pay the check before they receive their dinner?
I think that is a very racial comment. I think
oh my God.
As a person who used to be a waitress and who has experience when African Americans come in and just the stigmatism.
Jesus Christ, I hate liberals, man. I hate liberals, man.
She's just lying.
Yeah.
She's going to say that it wasn't clearly known and understood by all the other wait staff that these were not the people you wanted to be serving. She's just lying.
Even the black girl knows the answer is yes. They should pay before.
Do you think black people should pay the check before they receive their dinner?
I think that is a very racial comment. I think as a person who used to be a waitress and who has experience when African Americans come in and just the stigmatism around a certain race and payments, I think that should cease. I think we don't ask that question with white people or any other race, so why should we ask it with black people?
Okay. I really don't give a I really don't. I really don't.
Do you think black people should pay the check before?
Yo, their antisocial behavior hood. It's just like they can always be counted on.
She said, I don't give a fuck.
Not at all.
Listen. Hey,
they should pay up front, and maybe they could come around back to pick up their food. That would kind of solve that problem. Come around back.
I like her answer better than the fucking liberal white girl, though. The liberal white girl, that was cringy, man. What she said, like that's not even how real people talk.
No, not at all. Not at all.
People don't even talk like that. Like she could have just said, "Oh man, what kind of question is that?" Or like, "No," like you know what I'm saying.
She's had 2 semesters of ethnic studies, so she's ready.
Yeah, she had it ready to go already.
She has all the answers.
Yeah.
She's
or they receive their dinner.
I think that is a very racial comment. I think as a person who used to be a waitress and who has experience when African Americans come in and just the stigmatism around a certain race and payments.
So look,
I think that
listen, she admits as a waitress, she's seen it. There's a stick like waiters are not happy when blacks come to the restaurant.
And she thinks the stigma can stop.
Yeah, it just like the behavior shouldn't stop. Just stop stigmatizing it. But she admits,
just accept it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just accept it and don't make a big deal about it. Otherwise, you're a racist.
Yeah, they put us in like this liberal conundrum where they're like, look, only if every single black person does something are we allowed to talk about and perhaps make a law that would stop it from happening. But if there's only 99 out of 100 of them, nope. Sorry, we can't do anything. Sorry, Mr. White Man.
But that's what drives all this sort of security. It's like, okay, so now what will happen is we'll all have to pay beforehand to compensate for them.
That's right. Yeah, that's the
future.
only way we can do it. If we go to
You'll
like
need
the lowest common like black denominator.
You'll get a retina scan at the door. They'll deduct the money right off your chip, and everyone's going to have that just to keep sons from tearing up the condiment stand.
Oh man!
But you know what? It is a stereotype, and that and the violence in the restaurants thing that's a stereotype that needs to stop. I mean, or at least be understood. I mean, these are inner city black women who clearly from their bodies cannot afford the gym, so that the only workouts they get is fighting in a Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's the only way they can burn off the calories that they eat. Flipping out into Denny's.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. I like your theory. But yeah, she did all that. She did all that virtue signaling for the black girl to say, "I don't give a fuck."
Yeah, we're different. Like black people don't give a fuck. It's just that simple, and folks just don't understand that.
Let me see that brownie. What's that, a gun? Why would you eat that brownie to a gun? I'm whooping your ass.
Because I'm a boy.
Let me see that brownie. What's that, a gun?
Yo.
Why would you eat that brownie to a gun? I'm whooping your ass.
I'm whooping your ass. Okay.
Let me see that brownie. What's that, a gun?
Yeah.
Why would you?
So she's gonna assault him after this.
Yeah. And they don't get it. Like they don't understand. It's like 1950 where you were allowed to do this, but they don't understand that it's just you're not supposed to do that anymore.
It's weird though, man. There was
eat that brownie
in 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 20 years ago, a white kid growing up with toy guns or making stuff into guns, everything that a kid picks up, it's a stick, whatever, a ruler, he'll point it at someone like it's a gun. Yeah, I remember that growing up, but something either doesn't kick in about guns, or I don't know what we look at this as a threat. But if it's like a little white kid going, "Oh look, he turned his ice cream or whatever into a gun," it's cute. Here it's like this is some sort of ominous sign of their entire culture.
He's got on the wave cap.
Yeah.
I wonder where they live.
To a gun.
You're in a fucking do-rag.
I wonder what kind of neighborhood they live in.
He is a threat. He's only 6, but his mind is already on the track.
6.
He's younger than 6, man. He's like 3. Yeah.
That kid's
Whatever he is, he's
if he's 3, he might not be 3.
If Glider Society does not basically take this child and we have to live his life for him and have him on strict guidelines until he's 25. In all honesty, he will probably grow up to be a violent person.
Well, unless this ass whipping he's about to get actually works.
Yeah,
that works. It could be okay.
Yeah, that'll work, even though all scientific research says it does the exact fucking opposite, which is why Glider stopped doing it 50 fucking years ago.
Did your dad give it to you when you were younger?
No, never. He would never do anything like that.
Oh my God! Everyone I grew up with had a dad that would knock him out if there was any business.
No one would ever do that. No one that I ever grew up would ever receive anything like that, because it's just kind of understood that it doesn't do anything other than create people that become antisocial, basically.
Wow,
that's black privilege. Though. You can still beat your kid.
It was the 80s, but everybody that I grew up with got ass whoopings. I mean, belt to ass, pow. The whole neighborhood could hear it.
Oh, every black comic, that was a big chunk of their act.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
It was it's a black privilege now that you can still beat your kids. White people that beat their kids get them taken away.
I don't know what it is.
If you beat your kid, what's that?
I grew up in the 80s, so I don't know what it is. I don't think it's as bad now. I really don't. I don't think it's bad now.
They need fathers in the house to beat the kids. That'll fix it.
Nah, the moms beat you. The moms beat your ass. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Moms beat your ass.
Tommy Sotomayor was famous for saying that. He's the first beating a black man gets is by his mom.
Yeah, mom whoop your ass. Yeah. Black mom whoop your ass in public. Come to school and whoop your ass.
I'm whooping your ass.
Adorable.
Let me see that brownie. What's that, a gun? Why would you eat that brownie to a gun?
Why would you eat that brownie to a gun? God damn.
Why did you eat those Oreos to a Switch?
Damn it. God damn it. Jesus Christ. Let's see Eddie Murphy, man. This is speaking of stars, man. And we're gonna get to the main event in a minute, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Can we get like 5-10 people to support the show? I mean, you getting this next one is about to be, this next one's gonna blow your mind. If you thought Al Green's story was crazy, this next one's gonna blow your mind.
I love my wife, and I'm not gay, and I'm not, and that's what's weird about this, to have your sexuality question and your moral fiber question and all that, when all I was doing was trying to be nice to somebody.
Eddie Murphy tells ET that his wife and children were out of town, says he wanted something to read and went to a late-night newsstand. He stopped here and picked up the suspected transsexual at 4:45 in the morning. He says he thought he was aiding a distraught woman.
Looks like a pretty Hawaiian girl in the corner crying. It looks like she was crying.
Really big feet.
She goes, "Oh, Eddie Murphy." She noticed him at the light. She recognized Eddie Murphy. Oh my God. So I go, "What are you doing? Why are you out here working the streets so late?" She goes, "Oh, I'm on my way home. Can you give me a ride home?"
Police tailed them for 2 miles before pulling him over. Police say he is guilty of no misconduct, but there was a warrant out for the alleged prostitute. A judge has ordered that man, 20-year-old Addison Siuli, to serve 90 days in jail. Murphy says he has often stopped to try to help prostitutes.
I love my wife, and I'm not gay.
What a mess. But can't say it's not unexpected.
Yeah, he bounced back from this. You like this could have ruined his career. You know what I mean? Like, this was the early 90s. This could have ruined his career. He kind of like pivoted. He pivoted pretty well.
Yeah, his career was kind of really slowed down at this point too.
Yeah,
Rebirth. It was like after he did. I should remember seeing all those bus ads with him, and nobody was seeing those movies.
When my wife's out of town, man, I might be in the house jacking off. Last thing I'm gonna do is go in the house, go to the fucking newsstand at 4:45 in the morning, read something.
Was he married at this time?
Yeah, his wife was out of town.
And I'm not, and that's what's weird about this, to have your sexuality question and your moral fiber question and all that, when all I was doing was trying to be nice to somebody.
Eddie Murphy tells ET that his wife and children were out of town, says he wanted something to read and went to a late-night newsstand. He stopped here and picked up the suspected transsexual at 4:45 in the morning. He says he thought he was aiding a distraught woman.
Looks like a pretty Hawaiian girl in the corner crying. It looks like she was crying. She goes, "Oh, Eddie Murphy." She noticed him at the light. She recognized Eddie Murphy. Oh my God. So I go, "What are you doing? Why are you out here working the streets so late?" She goes, "Oh, I'm on my way home. Can you give me a ride home?"
Police tailed them for 2 miles before pulling him over. Police say he is guilty of no misconduct, but there was a warrant out for the alleged prostitute.
Eddie Murphy picked her up. And then he wonders why she's out there working the streets so late in Hollywood. Why do you think she's out there?
Waiting for Eddie Murphy.
It's rather thematic. I come up early because I'm going on a demonstration this morning.
The nice thing about Eddie in the story.
About this sort of thing.
The nice thing about Eddie in this story is that he drove back and forth up and down the block a few times to find the prettiest distressed woman he could find. That's right. Putting in the work for the community.
Well, I got to think, man, Alexander Barron, he kind of helped, supports Eddie Murphy's theory, because think about it, like we're all up early in the morning looking at the news. Maybe Eddie wanted to get up early in the morning. You didn't have the internet back in those days. This is before internet. Maybe he wanted to see what was going on,
I haven't been up this early in years. I've got a question for you. Right? If you get it right, you get $7 to super chat. If not, only a $5.
You said what?
I've got a question for you. If you answer it right, you get a second $7 super chat. Why didn't Ted Bundy murder black women?
Why didn't Ted Bundy murder black women? Ted Bundy?
Ted Bundy.
Why didn't he?
Why didn't he?
I think it's because he understands the black woman's struggle and he was an ally.
I don't know. I give up.
Because he was a racist.
Wow.
Why didn't Ted Bundy attack black women? Because black women.
Wow. You wanted to stick it to the black man.
By killing white girls.
Oh,
Take
man.
this, black man. I've killed another white girl.
Oh, man.
I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry right now. She looked at him and said, come into the kitchen and I'll fix you a sandwich. She reached in the cabinet and took out the peanut butter and jelly. He said, Mother, you really don't understand. She looked at him and said, what is it, son? What is it I don't understand? He said, Mother, what you don't understand is this right here. He kept on saying, I don't want no peanut butter. I want my soul to be saved. I want my soul to be saved.
Oh. What?
What was that,
Oh, this one right here. Hold on. So, hold on. Let me see. Let me start this one over here. So, this woman decided to make a cute little snack cart for our delivery drivers. Okay? That's awesome, man, right? It's a very white thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Very, very white thing to do.
Very high trust thing to do.
The club isn't the best place to find the lovers, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends sat at the table doing shots, tripping fast, and then we talk slow. And we come over and start up a conversation with just me, and trust me, I'll get.
He took two Pringles, 2 tissue packs.
He's just gonna lift the tray out.
A probably Gatorade. 2 Gatorades. All right. Oh wow.
What will his punishment be?
Wow, he's back. He's back. He's back.
Doubling down on Cheez-Its, triple Oreo.
3 Oreos.
He kind of looks like a little bit of an Oreo himself.
2 Gatorades. Damn, we supposed to be thirsty. A body armor and some Pringles. God damn. All right. And he took the hand sanitizer.
He's taking that home to his kids.
He's back. He's back.
His kids, man.
Check
this is a solid dad.
God damn.
Doesn't he have a bag? He could just get it all in one take.
Yeah, like maybe the cart is like chained down. The cart's got to be nailed down. Wow.
He takes all the treats and then grabs the camera.
Why did he just take the whole stand?
It had to be nailed down, man, or chained. Maybe they put a lock on it, locked it with like a wire to the wall or something like that.
There's a lot of decisions being made here. There's a lot of mental computing going on. How many can I fit in my arms? But I want more. Well, then I should go back. Let me fill up my arms again. Oh, well, it's a lot of decision making going on here. The thought of just grabbing the whole thing, it's either got to be physically impossible or it's just he got caught up in the decision process.
What's your salute, and what's your thoughts about this new guy? What do you think? And don't be racist and mean, man. What do you really think? New guy must be doing something. But yeah, this is listen. I think this is how I look at it like this, right? He might not interface with this type of trusting behavior. Like, let's just say, right? Let's just say he lives around black people, right? Most black people look at things that you don't protect, that you don't nail down, as if you don't want them. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't protect something or you don't guard it, you don't want it.
There's a logic to that.
Yeah.
You know.
And we don't have high trust society, and he probably saw this, and this is his first time dealing with it. Whereas a white kid may have dealt with these type of, trust situations, high trust situations for a lifetime. And he's got more experience. With this kid, this is his first time. Oh shit! So give him a little, let him, give him a little grace.
Yeah. It's like a white guy's first time going into a heavily sun area. He might be totally clueless about how he should behave, what is okay or not,
Exactly. Great point. Like, he doesn't. It's just like, wow. Okay, so they really like just, these people are sweet. These people are sweet. These people are gullible. Like, they left all this stuff out. Don't they know that somebody will take all of it? Don't they know that nobody's going to take? Like, he probably thinks that the next guy would do that. He probably doesn't think that he's the only one that do that. He probably thinks that anybody would do this. You know what I mean?
And it's a survival instinct. You can't. This is plenty, and it's not often he's encountered with that. So it's like survival says, I have to grab all of this.
Yeah, and think about it, right? He
also noticed some things in the living room that he might want to come back and get later too.
Right. I mean, he came back. Like, think about it. He took a shit ton of stuff the first time. Like, he took way too much the first time. Like, he was supposed to just grab a Gatorade and keep it moving. You know what I mean?
I could see this almost as being entertainment for a certain kind of glider. Like, look what we've done. We've put this stuff out here now. Let's watch what he does.
Yeah, social experiment for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
KB, you got your mic's really low.
Yeah, your mic's terribly low. But I guarantee you, he doesn't. I guarantee you, he'd be shocked to see another guy come up, like a white guy come up and just like take like a bag of chips in a Gatorade. Because he'd be like, yo, what? Why you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just,
That's what I say. Only one of them isn't poisoned.
Yeah, all the white people in the comments are like, I would,
How dare he?
It's not stealing if it's free, guys. They're calling this stealing, and if it's free, it's not stealing.
Said, report him to Amazon.
KB, you're still real low on your mic, man. He's trying to feed his family, see?
Yeah, salute to this guy, man.
He's got 3 different kids with 2 different baby mamas. He's got... Oh, see what their ancestors built.
I had an accident. Can I use your restroom?
Oh shit! Yikes.
So I can't use your restroom? I'm a woman. I'm on my menstrual. I had an accident. Can I use your restroom? Go to my friend's
questionable.
store? She said go to my friend's store. Who's my friend's store? What friend? That's very racist to say. Who are my friends? I actually use your restroom. I'm a woman.
You know this is going viral.
Yeah, I'm a woman. Your store online. I'm a woman.
Just look at the body language.
Let them know just how racist
Yeah,
you're going to play this.
how
not
to
tell me how racist because you will lose business. We're going to make sure of it.
Telling me to go to my friend's store. Who's my friend's store? I actually use your restroom.
Go to your country.
That part.
Go to your country.
Don't come to this nail salon.
No, give you all of this.
I am in Brooklyn. They told me, I asked them to use the bathroom.
Go to my friend's store.
She told me to go
She's
to
doing
my
those
friend's
owners a
store.
favor.
Go to the black store. That's what they said. So I can't use your restroom? I'm a woman. I'm on my menstrual. I had
What's that one about what our ancestors built? There we go. They did them in the right order. If you'd reversed those, it would have seemed mean. This way, it seems celebratory. Like if you show all the amazing Western civilization stuff and then you cut to mud huts, it just seems like you're being racist. But if it's like, hey, let's go see what we've got, and then you show what another culture created, it's triumphant. Oh, here we go.
Stealing eggs. I've never seen that before, you know? I've never seen somebody steal eggs like that.
It's a high-risk move. You bump into one person and then everything is ruined.
She if somebody bumps into her, she's gonna be getting a new purse, man. And then there you go.
She should take some tampons out of that person. She should take her tampons out of that person and give it to that other woman.
Wow. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Maybe she hungry, man.
Really? You think that? You don't think she could have bought those?
Because you're going to take it?
Are you going to give me a refund?
No.
Are you going to give me a refund?
No.
Where's the receipt that says no refund?
You're supposed to have it.
Where's the receipt?
You have it.
Show me the receipt. You never even gave me a receiite.
Well, where is it? Why should I give you a refund?
Did you give me a receipt?
Why should I give you a refund? Why do you have my tip jar?
Because you're refusing to give me a refund.
Why do you have my tip jar?
Because you're refusing to give me a refund.
Because you're going to take it?
Are you going to give me a refund?
No.
Are you going to give me a refund?
No.
Where's the receipt that says no refund?
You're supposed to have it.
Where's the receipt?
You have it.
Show me the receipt. You never even gave me a receipt.
Well, where is it? Why should I give you a refund?
Did you give me a receipt?
Why should I give you a refund? Why do you have my tip jar?
Because you're refusing to give me a refund.
Why do you have my tip jar?
Because you're refusing to give me a refund.
Because you're going to take it?
Are you going to give me a refund?
No.
We could do an exchange or in-store credit.
I just want back what I paid for them. That's all.
But we
I
can't.
just want to put it on my card.
Do you even have a receipt?
Nobody ever said I needed no receipt.
Well, I mean, you need a receipt to.
I don't need a receipt to take back issues. Did nobody even wear them? You can look. Nobody put them on. So yeah, you can get my money back.
But we don't do refunds.
Where it say that at?
It's right there.
It don't say that. That said no cash refunds, not no car refunds. Go ahead and get my money back.
We can't.
Yes, y'all can. Can I get a? Where your manager at?
Brandon.
Where your manager?
Brandon.
Where is your manager at? Because he act like he don't want to give me my money. And don't nobody even want these ugly ass shoes.
Brandon, please tell her we don't do no refunds.
Y'all do refunds because I did it before. So can you give me my money back?
Can you take her out, Brandon?
It's not right there. I don't even gotta look at that.
Man, we can't.
You can give me the money back though.
I can't, man.
You can.
It's store policy.
I said you can though.
I can, man.
And you can. I'll knock everything off these shelves.
Ma'am, I'm gonna have
I'll knock everything off these shelves if y'all don't give me my money. Where's
Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to leave. Oh.
He cut out the boring part that we've seen 1,000 times. If she actually does it.
Exactly. There was no point in seeing that.
The storm. I said you wrong, soldier for the Lord, I am the storm. To the devil, I'm John Wick and I'm pissed off. To the devil, I'm the Hawk and I'm pissed off. The devil said I can't withstand a storm. I said you wrong, soldier for the Lord, I am the storm. To the devil, I'm John Wick and I'm pissed off. To the devil, I'm the Hawk and I'm pissed off. First off, I was born
Daniel Penny, help us.
when I move, God is with me, I'm unstoppable. Passing any obstacle, mission impossible. Blood and dirt in my hands, man, I hope these things are washable. Weapons formed against me indeed are not operable. I'm in the land of Goshen and my ops are in the hospital. Quiet, my mouth don't say what I'm about to do. See what God put on my brain to remain profitable, Don't trust, every day I'm making hard cash. You clocking in the demon time, plenty for regards, laugh. That's why kids I split your way quick with a long stab on my journey. Jesus got the will, you don't want to clash. I am on my own path, the devil got.
Not only do most people not want to hear rapping while they're on the train, but rapping about the devil, that's like a double whammy. Jeez.
Where's Daniel Penny when you need him?
I'm telling you, man. Rapping about the devil. Jesus Christ.
Eddie Murphy just helping out a lady. Who hasn't, been up at 3 or 4 in the morning and thought, now I want to do a little light reading. Maybe just catch up on the news. Let me go out for a drive.
Get back to sleep. No, but maybe he couldn't sleep, and he felt like if I read, I can get back to sleep. You ever think about that? Wise guy. Salute to Alexander Barron. He says your compensation going to a protest at the General Medical Council lobbying against men posing as women in medicine. Salute, man. Salute. Dude, that's a worthy cause, Alexander. Shout out to Big Larry. Yeah. Right. Let's see. Where's the story that I wanted to do?
Yo, can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you. Say no, yeah, you heard you loud and clear, man. You good? That's better. Let's see.
Charges after a local. Tonight, 6 people, including teenagers, they're facing charges after a local mother was shot in her car. 40-year-old Larisha Thompson was shot and killed in her car off Riverside Road in Lancaster. The sheriff's office says the people arrested are tied to another crime as well, and because of their immigration status, they also now face deportation. WCNC's Charlotte Jesse Pierre is in Lancaster with the latest developments.
Larisha Thompson's life ended in tragedy, gunned down while she was driving down the road. Tonight, 6 people between the ages of 13 and 21 years old facing murder charges in this case.
People like this have no place in our society, and we will do everything in our power to make sure the full weight of the law is brought down on these 6 individuals.
6 people, including 4 teenagers, are behind bars facing multiple charges. The Lancaster County Sheriff's Office says, first, the group tried and failed to break into a convenience store, damaging a bathroom door and shooting up the security cam. Days later, they say that group shot and killed 40-year-old Larisha Thompson.
Somebody lost their mom, their sister, aunt, mother. Just a tragedy.
this person is out doing the same thing you and I do, just driving down the road, minding their own business.
The sheriff says Thompson was driving down Riverside Road on her way to meet friends when the group tried to rob her. He says 21-year-old Azael Torres Chirinos is the one who pulled the trigger, hitting Thompson, leaving her for dead in her car. Officials say none of the suspects are in the country legally and should not have had the gun.
They took the life of an innocent young lady, didn't have the right to be here, much less commit these crimes here.
Detainers have been placed on all 6, so if any of them were to become eligible for release, they would be taken into ICE custody. In Lancaster, Jesse Pierre, WCNC Charlotte.
Burritos do it too.
We have 6 individuals in our community, for number one, wasn't supposed to be here.
Is he the assistant to the lesbian sheriff?
life
I don't understand. Who is this
of
guy?
an innocent lady. Was out here
I
trying
don't know,
to
but
get
he's got
something
a
from
great
that.
accent.
A group of young men and boys.
This is sad, man. But the saddest part is, she voted for Kamala. If this woman could have her way, if she could have her way, if you gave her 10 wishes, one wish before she died, it would have been that Kamala beat Trump.
Yeah, this would have been prevented.
Yeah, she wanted more of this. That woman, no doubt voted for Kamala. It looks at Trump as a racist. His policies as being racist.
And a fascist.
Yet, this guy came in the country illegally, shot her down, and they had texts where they were making fun of it, clowning the death of the woman while she was still dying. Like when they shot her, they tried to get her car, but they couldn't get in her car because her car was locked.
What is it with the sons dancing on the graves of their slain opponents?
This isn't a son. This is an burrito, man.
I know, but like you hear stories about sons like turning over graves and disrespecting the ops on social media.
Tonight, 6 people, including teenagers.
That's extremely rare. That's like literally the times you seen it is the times it's been done. But as far as like making songs, yeah, and shit like that, yeah. I mean, sounds just like killing is
Look, they like two things. They like killing and they like dancing. And I don't see that. It's kind of racist of us to presume they can't do both together.
Yeah, killing.
They got to pick one.
Yeah. Think about if you riding around with a gun with a switch on it. Like, yeah, like.
Killing takes on like a ritual component, though, in the Sun mind in a way that it doesn't for gliders.
Right.
Makes you a real one.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've seen gliders. I think gliders did do a lot of killing. I mean, let's not act like gliders didn't do a lot of killing. I think though gliders can function within societies. You know what I'm saying? They can function within societies a lot better than sons can. But gliders kill a lot. Gliders kill a whole lot, man. All types of chronicles of gliders, the war, the roses, like even y'all wars.
We're the best at it, actually.
But Mark, you can't conflate wars and the homicide rate.
Right, no doubt. That's why I said in societies y'all better, but y'all kill, man. Y'all kill.
There's supposed to be a good reason.
We're great at it.
Yeah, it's true. Very good at it. Very good at it.
Well, I'm talking like for example, in South Africa, like the whole, what was it called, like necklacing,
right?
Where sons just have this like primal like it's not just the killing itself, but it becomes like a celebration, almost like a ritual. That's very different than like, you know, two gliders shooting each other on a battlefield.
No, I
speaks
completely
to
understand that. I'm not conflating the two. I promise you, I'm not conflating the two. But what I am saying though is like, if gliders create societies, right? Wherever they go, they create societies. Like, so y'all have surpassed that. Y'all beyond that point. So your killing is done in the acquisition or the borrowing of resources from other people.
Yeah, like on an economic scale.
Yeah.
requisitions.
Yeah. Whereas like, you know, I mean, you guys have mastered society because y'all are the
It's gentrifying. You know, we make things nice. We improve stuff.
yeah. Exactly. Yep.
We gentrified the earth.
Yep. Well, here goes the guy that was killed at that mass shooting.
Investigators continue to piece together what exactly led to a shooting at a Catawba County party that killed one person and injured nearly a dozen others. We're now learning more about the man who lost his life. 58-year-old Sean Patrick Hood has been a member of the Hickory community for years, and that goes all the way back to his time with the Hickory Crawdads. As Queen City News reporter Jen Cardone tells us this afternoon, the organization plans to honor Hood tonight.
Here at Walnut Acres, life is trying to get back to normal. Days after a mass shooting early Sunday morning that killed one person and injured 11 others. And here at the Hickory Crawdads, the team will honor Sean Hood, who died in the shooting. He was a former teammate.
A lot of people want to catch a 90 to 100 mile per hour fastball coming at them. It's definitely a well-needed position.
Now General Manager Douglas Locascio says Hood was a bullpen catcher here in the late 90s. He helped warm up pitchers before they entered a game.
Such a likable guy, someone who truly had a love and passion for the game of baseball, who just enjoyed being around the guys.
Hood was unpaid, but because the team loved him so much, he got his own baseball card.
Could tell how much the team and the club and the organization appreciated him.
It's been more than 60 hours now since the events transpired here at Walnut Acres, and we're still trying to learn why Hood was here in the first place. His colleagues at Mountain Biz Works tell Queen City News they are sad to learn of his untimely passing. They sent us a statement saying, quote, "In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, Sean demonstrated an unwavering commitment to his community, directing millions of dollars in recovery funds to support and stabilize small businesses throughout Western North Carolina," end quote. It goes on to say his contributions will have a lasting impact, and they are grateful for the legacy of service he leaves behind.
Once a crawdad, always a crawdad.
And Tuesday night, before the opening pitch against the Columbia Fireflies, Hood will be remembered with a moment of silence. Jen Cardone, Queen City News.
Is that the South
Queen
Carolina
City
party?
News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart.
Is that the South Carolina party from the other night that you covered?
I think it was North Carolina.
North Carolina.
That was the guy who got killed. One person got killed. That was the guy who got killed.
Of course, it's not a son.
But the shooter wasn't the son. The shooter was one shooter they have, because they said it was multiple guns being fired. But one shooter they caught was a white kid.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
the witness was a son team.
A white kid or like a Hispanic white kid?
A white kid.
Oh,
like
wow.
White.
Okay.
White. Like white.
an Austin Metcalf.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
White as snow.
It only took us 100 episodes to get here.
I wonder if they will accept him now.
No.
He's white as snow. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the story. Yeah, he was Catawba County. He's white as snow.
All right, that second shooter better not be a son then. Like, don't ruin it. Let us have this for once.
Yeah, I agree.
I heard a bang, but I didn't think it was a gunshot. Like, I came down and I saw him laying over here in the grass,
And I was like, I thought he got hit by a car because those kids are literally always just running around.
People who live
85
off
pounds.
Kenwood Avenue in Rosedale know that this McDonald's is the daily gathering spot for dozens of teenagers.
When the kids get out of school, they hang in this McDonald's, and it is so many kids there. I mean, a lot. So they can't control them unless they have patrol there.
People say fights happen often, but Monday's shooting takes the violence to a new level.
Just surprised someone got shot. Not surprised about kids fighting because they do that, normally fight. But I'm really surprised that someone got shot.
11 News was there as police taped off both the McDonald's parking lot where the fight started and where the boy was found across the street in someone's yard.
I couldn't believe it.
I've noticed
they're all
this,
like high
man.
school.
Most of the firefighters, the fire departments, the paramedics with the firefighters, they're usually white. You'll have some black firemen, but the ones that do the paramedic stuff, they're usually white. And I know a woman who is a paramedic. She took training on all that stuff. My wife's friend, white woman, man. She and it's like they just want to help, man. Like, they just want to do a good thing and shit. And it's like, wow, it's crazy. Like, you just want to help people and shit.
My cousin is EMT, and he told me that like most of the calls are like the people just don't need to be calling 911. Like he has to explain to them like you can't do this. And I didn't ask directly, but I assume a number of them were sons.
Oh yeah, the sons are going to definitely be the most people using any service in any city.
They got to have high burnout rate.
Oh yeah, I mean they come on the scene for a lot of stuff. Like think about if you are in any city, any city, right? You're gonna see a lot of like disfigured bodies, children shot. Think about how many children you're gonna come on the scene and you see some child with a bullet in his brain. You know what I mean? Think about how many times you see that. I mean, you see stuff like that. You see multiple people like bled out on the street. Right.
And then when that's your job, you went into it altruistic, thinking you're going to help people, and then that your job just becomes the grind of dealing with that week in and week out.
Right. Like violent, like world. Like think about this. Think about if you grow up where like a white person might grow up in a white town, right? And you want to go to the big city and you be a paramedic or a firefighter in the big city or in a town where the sun's at. You see so much, like there's so many shootings, there's so many injured people. Injuries are so common. You're going to see a lot. The fact that we didn't see a lot of paramedics coming out on the black fatigue. Remember black fatigue a month ago? Was it a month ago when black fatigue was hot?
People got tired of black fatigue.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't see a lot of paramedics coming out and saying,
Well, one got stabbed in the heart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I forgot his name. What was his name? Graham. Graham.
It was a chick too.
Yeah, black chick stabbed him in the heart.
Yard.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, they're all like high school kids, So like, I definitely did not expect like a shooting with a high school kid and being literally right across the street from.
Yeah, he's in for. He must have just got there, right? He must.
Yeah.
He just got there like 5 seconds ago. Like there must be a U-Haul truck like off camera because he just got there and he's about to move in his house. No way he's been there for more than 5 minutes.
18-year-olds shooting each other?
I mean, they're all like high school kids, So like, I definitely did not expect like a shooting with a high school kid and being literally right across the street from my house.
The teenager is expected to survive. Police say that the suspects ran off and they're searching for them. Now, police say this is an isolated incident. Still, the neighborhood says they are concerned with the violence.
If there are any gatherings or there are suspicious individuals walking around neighborhoods or certain areas, we ask residents to please give us a call, and that way we can have officers respond to take care of that situation.
As detectives ask anyone with information to call them, the community hopes summer break will bring change.
Just people learn to tolerate one another, walk away. You know, I mean, there's no place for violence with guns and things of that nature, especially amongst kids.
In Baltimore
Just
County,
take some
I'm Tommy
time
Clark.
No class. They'll be fine.
I will say though, I think like the firefighter job, that's a good place for a sun man to be. I feel that's a really good sun job.
Why?
Yeah,
you know how I talk about like, all right, we have like 13% of the population are like subhuman, right? So like, how are we going to like disperse them across the continent so they don't cause too much trouble? So
we prefer the term proto-human.
Yeah,
here on
proto-human. Yeah,
Nation.
my bad. I apologize. Okay, so we got these proto-humans, right? Like, how are we going to disperse them? So like a firefighter seems like a good job. It's like it's physical, like it's something that I think would appeal to a sun man, especially if you have like some of those like Bible Belt sun men that were, you know, raised in the church, and they can you know, gravitate to the idea of helping people, and they get to, you know, run into buildings, and, you know, they're usually strong and athletic. Seems like a good spot to me.
And there's plenty of hose.
And there's plenty of hose. That's right.
Wow.
Did you think about becoming a firefighter?
Who?
You.
Hell no.
Is that a job for lames?
I think that's the problem there.
Yeah, it's a job for lame. So I think you're correct. It's a job.
No,
for
I
lames.
mean, I think a lot of people. There's a lot, like in PG County. There's a lot of black firefighters. In DC, there's some black firefighters. Don't get me wrong.
They holding it down.
I don't even think it's for lames. I think it's just like that's just not something that we go into, man.
That was the plot of American History X. The father in the family was a firefighter who like lost his job or some shit.
You know, that's a little strange though, Ak, because aren't sons like disproportionately in the military?
Nah, there's a lot of sons in the military, but it's for a lot of sons that go to the military for the benefits. And
yeah, so that's kind of my point. Like, what if we like made, you know, the firefighting type of thing kind of similar to the military, where you kind of like want to, you know, like lure the sun man into it.
The test is racist for to get into the fire department.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so
needs more equity.
That prevents a lot of sons too. The racist test that you got to take to get into the fire department.
I mean, I would imagine out of all those careers, like the paramedics, the firefighter, I would imagine the firefighters would be like of the lowest cognitive demand, or is there something I'm missing here?
Well, I mean, I think firefighters, I've seen a fire put out firsthand. I've seen firefighters take the whole damn hose down a city block alley and put out a fire before the whole structure burned. I watched it from my backyard when I was in DC. It was magnificent, like their teamwork, their bravery too. Like they're very brave to go into a burning building. You know, very brave.
I think what New Guy's getting at is that it sort of fits the paradigm of a young glider kid from however many years ago, like wanting to be a cop or wanting to be a fireman, or all these sort of duty-filled jobs that are.
Yeah, the duty component. That's a good thing to point out. So, like a duty thing, that's a white guy thing for sure.
There's honor in it, you know.
Yeah.
There's sort of a public version of chivalry to it, you know.
Right. Yeah. Salute, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. Salute to Eric S. Man. Great show, guys, man. Any final thoughts?
Thanks to the nation.
Thanks, Zach.
Salute,
Get
guys.
better, Caitlin Clark.
Same
Salute,
Kate.
guys. Same black time, same black channel. I got to do this one tomorrow. This we got to start with this one tomorrow. I'm out of here. Subscribe to the channel.